What's up, everybody? Welcome into a brand new Scroll Cup video, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys from the jump. I've had a really tough time in Scroll Cup lately. I feel like none of the teams work. I feel like I'm constantly getting hard countered, and it's very difficult to be creative or to have fun in this meta when you don't know exactly how to play it because it is so condensed and so limited. So I went looking for a team. I stumbled upon a team in Pokédaxi's Discord server from someone named Golf Professor. This team actually has Mantine in the lead with Annihilate and Gastrodon in the back. And if you know me, you know that I despise Mantine. I think it's way too bulky, it's way too dumb, it's not derpy in a good way like Quagsire, it's just super annoying, it's annoying to knock out, and then when you're playing it, it feels like it can never knock out anything on its own. I really hate playing this Pokemon, but at this point, I was willing to try anything. So I queued up for some Scroll Cup battles, and as much as it pains me to say, the results are pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump right into game number one here. Again, Mantine lead against Fish, I guess. Mantine lead with Annihilate and Gastrodon in the back. Already, we are deep into the seed of the RPS. In comes the Lantern Safe Switch, and we have the Gastrodon already ready for it. Man, what a terrible position for my opponent to be in. But ooh, does it feel does it feel like that special Scroll Cup brand of delicious, right? When you're able to RPS and annihilate your opponent. Gonna go and throw the Earth Power. I'm so sorry, Fish. And in comes their own Gastrodon again. Mantine, one of the hardest walls to Gastrodon in this cup. It's kind of like a two-flyer race between Mantine and Mandibuzz. Again, the double mans, Gastrodon apparently doesn't like. I hang on through the Body Slam as well, which is honestly insult to injury at this point. Gonna throw the Earth Power into the opposing pink Gastrodon. Gonna swap into my Annihilate to answer the Dugong and the opponent top lefts. Oh man, you know, I knew that this team would be a little bit alignment dependent. I knew it would be a little bit toxic, but I did not expect it to go that off the rails in game one. Game number two, we're gonna see a Shadow Quagsire in the lead. Obviously, you do not want to get hit by a Stone Edge. That's gonna disrupt me quite a bit. I try to catch on my Annihilate, but the opponent doesn't take the bait. So already, very well played by them. They throw the Aqua Tail, then swap into Mandibuzz. But honestly, with Gastrodon in the back, this is really where I want to see the Buzzard. Gonna go ahead and throw my close combat here into the Mandibuzz. Gonna deal actually a respectable amount of damage. This is a best buddy Mandibuzz as well, so kudos to them. We're gonna go ahead and bring in our Mantine after wait down the switch timer just a little bit longer. Send in the Mantine, which I'm, really thrilled about. We're gonna go ahead and fire the wing attack and then go for the Ice Beam. This will KO if it connects into the Mandibuzz. Opponent does have that Quagsire still, so they do let it go. Coming with the Quagsire, I'm gonna try to catch a Stone Edge a second time. Do we get it on the second try? And yes, we called the Stone Edge there. In comes the final Pokemon, which is Primeape. I'm gonna throw 3 Mud Slaps and try to go for the Body Slam, but it looks like the opponent is able to pace to the Rage Fist first. This one does come through. Gonna go up one more Mud Slap and throw the Body Slam. Really expecting my opponent to shield here, and they don't. Wow. Okay, I get one more Mud Slap through. Still 2 shields for both players here. Opponent really leading on that Quagsire to close out this game. Mud Shots are going to be double resisted. Aqua Tails are resisted. They really have to throw 3 charge attacks to win this game. So now it's a race, right? I did take the Rage Fist. I'm not taking any damage from the Mud Shots, but I'm trying to pace the triple Aerial Ace before they can get to triple Aqua Tail, which I think we can do it, especially because they dumped all their energy on that Stone Edge that went into Gastrodon. Womp womp. Gonna go ahead and build up some more energy here on my Mantine. I'm gonna shield here for obvious reasons. Aqua Tail, that was my last shield, but I've got the double Aerial Aces, so as long as that last Mud Shot didn't give them another Aqua Tail, we have this game in the bag. And we are able to get it off, which is so good. Good to win, bad to win with Mantine. Again, this video is gonna be very emotionally difficult for me because I don't like playing this Pokemon. But the success is hard to deny when you're able to win matchups like this. Mantine also gonna have positive matchups into things like Chestnut, which have been super annoying as of late. Lapras lead in this game number 2. Opponent is gonna stay in here, deal a lot of super effective side wave damage. They go for the Sparkling Aria. Hint for everybody watching, if you're playing against Lapras in the Great League and Scroll Cup, whatever it might be, it's gonna be 6 counters to each of those Sparkling Arias, so same pacing as the Rage Fist, which means I'm gonna be 1 counter behind. Opponent lets that Rage Fist through though, which means I'm able to counter all the way down. Opponent comes in the Gastrodon. I'm gonna go for the Rage Fist here, hoping to get a shield. Maybe they think it's a close combat. Gastrodon decides to no shield, and I get even more booster counters through. This is an attack-weighted Annihilate. I won't reveal the IVs, but it is gonna have a tough time withstanding damage. And what else is gonna have a tough time is this Morpeko. Only 4 Thundershocks. I know this is not the Seed Bomb, so I know shield. Psychic Fangs come through, and the opponent exits left stage. They really, really wanted out of that game. So again, this team is very alignment dependent. It's an ABB team though. So you do have kind of like 2 anti-steals in the back in Annihilate and Gastrodon. Very, very good lead for us here in this game. Number 3, I believe. I'm gonna go on the Charge Tech Priority tie. Even though I lose that Charge Tech Priority tie, I know I can absorb this first Rage Fist from the Annihilate and get a shield back in kind. So we're kind of like playing a little knife fight here. I know that if my Aerial Ace goes through, it will KO. If the opponent lands a second Rage Fist, it's likely going to bring me close to being KO'd, especially after all that counter damage. Gonna go ahead and throw right here again. Opponent is gonna use their Rage Fist. As we anticipated, I shielded up. Because I'm able to absorb the first Rage Fist, it immediately puts me ahead in this matchup, because now, as long as we match shields, I can win the lead here. However, I got different ideas, and I want to keep a shield for my own Annihilate. I'm looking at this Ghost type Pokemon that double resist counter, and I'm thinking, farm it down. 4 counters is what we get there on our own Annihilate, and now comes the Quagsire. I'm gonna go ahead and throw 4 counters and then go for the close combat here. I know they have the Aqua Tail now at this point. I'm gonna swap into Gastrodon. Opponent goes actually into Meowscarada with Charm, and this is wild. I mean, you would have thought, I guess it makes sense because they don't want to take a close combat on Meowscarada. I'm expecting the Night Slash here, and that's exactly what we get. Meowscarada, definitely a Pokemon that I did not expect to see in this cup, but Charm users have to be valued when Dark is Dark and Fighting are 2 of the 3 types allowed in the cup. We're able to Mud Slap all the way down to the Grass type and then throw the Earth Power into the Quagsire. So again, shout out to Golf Professor in the Pokédaxy Discord for this team, because honestly, it's pretty good. As much as I hate Mantine, you got to work with the tools that you're given, right? Gonna go to this next battle here. Let's see what we get. Gonna lead into Danny Ofo, Toxapex. This matchup is interesting because over time, Toxapex will wear me down. I go into the Annihilate because I'm going to resist the poison type attacks. Now they swap into Meowscarada, and I'm looking at the HP bars. I think we can do it. No, we actually get simultaneously KO'd. So if I bring the Gastrodon into the Toxapex, it feels like a win. If I don't, it might get a little dicey. No, it's double. What? What is this team? Toxapex double grass? All right, to be fair, I have to respect the shift tree. I was looking at that Pokemon. I really wanted to make it work. I tried to make it work and I could not. So just to show you like how alignment dependent this cup is and this team is, if we were able to bring the Mantine in right now, it'd be game over, right? Because then we have our Gastrodon for the Toxapex in the back, and it needs like 3 brines to KO the Gastrodon. So honestly, this is just kind of like a an unfortunate sequence for us, but a very fortunate one for the opponent. I bring back in the Mantine. Opponent comes in with the Toxapex. I'm going to try to see if I can push this matchup just a little bit further and see how close this really is. So as we know, 10 poison jabs for the Sludge Wave on the Toxapex. First one's not gonna be enough to kill the Mantine, but I did go on the Charge Tech Priority, which is pretty cool. There are a lot of swaps there, so sometimes the alignments of the fast stacks can get a little bit discombobulated. Gonna go for another Aerial Ace. I mean, if you're talking about winning conditions here, you need your opponent to make a few mistakes. You need them to not throw here, but I think this is just a brine. If I can bank an Aerial Ace, and then my opponent is slow to swap, maybe I've got a chance. Oh man, we almost get the second Mud Slap through. Opponent threw a Snarl, which I think they had the Leaf Blade, so that was definitely a little bit risky. We come back in with the Mantine, and if we would have Mud Slapped down, everybody, I'm telling you, we would have had a slim chance. Now, Toxapex is just going to brutalize our Mantine, and I kind of don't feel that bad because I like to see Mantine lose, but I also don't like it when I lose, obviously. So that was, yeah, this video is like a mixed bag, man. This is really, really tough. Trying to ascend from the pits. We continue our Mantine shenanigans here in set number 2. Zach is gonna be our opponent. Zach's gonna lead Toxapex again. Come on, Zach, this is not what I wanted to see, man. I go into my Annihilate, they come in with the Quagsire. Now, because I got 2 counters energy lead, I think that I can force my way through this matchup, and that's pretty much the only option. That's exactly what I'm gonna try to do here. Gonna try to land as much counter damage as possible into the Quagsire. Quagsire goes for the Aqua Tail. I think my regular Annihilate, even though it has very specific IVs, I think it can withstand an Aqua Tail and still power through the matchup. But let's see what my opponent decides to do. They still have 1 shield in their court. Gonna go ahead and throw the Rage Fist here into the Quagsire and try to pick up the KO. And it does, actually, pretty cool. You know I'm gonna resist all those poison jabs, right? From Toxapex. They bring it back in. I'm gonna throw 2 counters and then another Rage Fist into this Pokemon here. And again, this is all just like icing on the cake. What I really wanted was alignment, and I really hope that whatever that 3rd Pokemon is in the back, my man team can handle it. Opponent is gonna throw an attack. I don't think Brine is enough, if I'm being honest. Brine? No, it's not. And we get a 3rd Rage Fist in this matchup, which is honestly bonkers. This Shadow Annihilate, or excuse me, this Annihilate with Rage Fist is going crazy. Gonna bring in the Gastrodon. Opponent swaps into their Zweilous. Not Z Zweilous, who I have a podcast with, but this Zweilous. Gonna go and throw a charge attack here. Do they call the bait? This is a really, really big moment. And, oh my gosh, they call it. What in the world? And even at this range, I think I can take a Dark Pulse. I think that the real threat here is Dragon Pulse, but it's very, very uncommon. Opponent does throw the Dark Pulse. Man team does hang on, and we're able to get to this Aerial Ace. Let's talk about win conditions. I think the win condition for me is to not allow my opponent to catch. I think that is also my lose condition, right? Gonna throw some extra Mud Slap damage. Opponent gets to another charge attack. Looks like it's gonna be the Dark Pulse again. I don't think Toxapex has a move, but we don't even need to find out because opponent top lefts. I would have thrown the Body Slam right out the bat there, but it is nice to know that we can just close that matchup out. Christie 713 in our next battle here. They're going to lead a Azumarill. Now this is definitely a tricky matchup. I can't safe swap the Annihilate for obvious reasons. I don't want to go into the Gastrodon immediately either because I do think Azumarill is covered pretty well by a lot of poison and electric types in the meta. So maybe this is a little bit of a tough position to be in. I'm gonna stay in with the man team though and try to play out this matchup for a little while. Opponent does connect the Play Rough into the man team. Gonna go for a wing attack and then another Aerial Ace here. Again, just trying to play the long game, trying to keep track of the energy as well. Azumarill is gonna go for another charge attack. I think the Play Rough might be enough here, so I'm gonna go ahead and shield this up. Does pull away my first shield. Gonna go for another Aerial Ace here. I'm curious if they're gonna let this go or if they're actually gonna stay in this matchup even longer and shield. We're gonna find out. 4 more wing attacks. We get to another Aerial Ace, which is really nice. And we're gonna connect this into the Azumarill, hopefully. No, opponent does shield. They wanna control switch advantage. Looking though at potential farm, and I think that we have a good chance to go ahead and take this Pokemon out. How you doing? Hey. Gonna come in here now with the Annihilate, farm all the way down. Now it's a Medicham in the back. All right, Psychic typing, that's good for us because we're able to land a lot of super effective damage. Gonna throw some more Rage Fist, another Rage Fist coming through here. This Medicham is running Psycho Cut. You know what, if they got Psychic, they honestly deserve to KO me. Honestly, if they got it, go ahead and let it fly, man, let it fly. I think this is Ice Punch. It's actually Dynamic Punch, which is gonna be double resisted by Annihilate. I do think that in this matchup, everybody, if you have Ice Punch or Dynamic Punch, you should be throwing Ice Punch. I might have been able to go for the farm down there. I wasn't keeping very good track of the counts on that opposing Medicham, but the Rage Fist does it all the same. Coming in out with the Gastrodon, I get 3 counters worth of damage, and this is gonna put me pretty far ahead in the matchup, but I did get 1 turn lag there on the bring in. So if the opponent's able to pace to Earth Power plus Body Slam, this could be devastating for me. Gonna try to get up to the Earth Power here. Oh, and we win the charge attack priority. My goodness, the 1 turn lag almost screwed us there because if we wouldn't have been able to get to the Earth Power and win the charge attack priority, we would have lost for sure because my opponent did get to the Body Slam. Really tough roll there for my opponent. Noodles. Let's see what we got. Noodles is gonna lead Meowscarada. Gonna deal a lot of charm damage to us, but I'm not super concerned about it. I'm actually gonna move this camera one more time. I feel like the sun's on my face. Yeah, not gonna escape it. But I'm going to try to throw in good timing here and match the energy of the Charm Meowscarada. Obviously, I do not want to see a grass type Pokemon with Charm in the back. So I'm going to shield up there. Look for a big wing attack down. I don't think I can get there. I think my opponent was going to get to the next charge attack. So I'm forced to throw here. I did pick up the KO though, which is super nice. And I do have some energy as well. Oh my gosh, look at this. Double resisting the Mud Slaps allows us to get to the Ice Beam on the Mantine against the Gastrodon here. Now, the trick is predicting what that third Pokemon is. I need to think about this. I decided to bring in Annihilate because I like Annihilate with energy versus almost anything in the back, but I've got a bad feeling. I've got a bad feeling about the situation. Earth Power Disc is shielded, which is also good. Oh no, it's Mandibuzz. And this is the kind of RPS shenanigans that Scroll Cup has really become known for. I mean, this is such a abysmal position, man. If I had like a Morpeko in the back, that'd be nice, but then I lose to every Gastrodon that I see. If I had a Lantern in the back, it'd be nice, but then I lose to every Chestnut that I see. It's like, you can't win with this meta. So we're gonna throw the Earth Power because we're frustrated and we want a Defense Fall. It does connect. Obviously, opponent's never gonna shield anything here. But I think you can tell where this battle's going. I think you can see how this is going to end. Aerial Ace does connect. Gastrodon cannot hold on. In comes the Annihilate. And at this point, we're just waiting for our inevitable demise. It's kind of how it goes. I'm not even going to go ahead and throw a charge attack here. My opponent makes a cheeky swap to Mud Slap down. And honestly, I guess I deserve it for playing Scroll Cup, but there we go. We're going to go to this next battle, Mantine versus Jellicent. We saw a couple of Jellicents here at the end of our sets, and they are very difficult to deal with. Again, because I don't want to safe switch the Annihilate into another ghost type, especially with an energy lead, and I don't want to send in the Gastrodon because then I might get hard countered. So Mantine just has to do what it can. I'm going to go ahead and swap into the Gastrodon after the Aerial Ace though, to see what I can pull out. Shadow Ball does connect. In comes Brione. Okay, actually, this might have gone well. I throw the Body Slam for reasons that I still do not know to this very day, and the opponent actually freaking decides to no shield. That could have been Earth Power with ease. And they decide to no shield. So honestly, no reason at all for me to do that, but here we are. Gonna bring in the Mantine against the Brione again. Is it Brione or Brione? I'm not even sure. Disarming Voice does connect. Gonna look for some wing attacks. Honestly, I wanna wing attack this thing all the way down. Still 2 shields for both players here. And we have KO'd 1 Pokemon each. Opponent is going to decide to come in now with the Jellicent. I'm going to throw 1 wing attack into the Aerial Ace. I just really hope Annihilate can handle what's in the back. And I definitely just smashed a small bug on the screen too, so that's really gross. Looks like the Jellicent is going to throw a charge attack here. I'm going to shield because this is too much bulk for Annihilate to counter through, and they still have some residual energy, so I don't want to send a Pokemon in and take a lot of damage plus need to shield it. But I am able to go ahead and bring in the Annihilate now. Oh, okay, Gallade. I thought this might be Medicham, but it's not. It's Gallade. And honestly, I don't know how many win conditions there are here. Throw the Rage Fist, get the shield. If I have the Aerial Ace, maybe there's a slight one. I don't have it. I need another wing attack. Really, really tough position to be in. But I'll tell you what, everybody, we're in the last battle of the video. If you've enjoyed this, let me know down in the comments below. Scroll Cup is almost gone, thankfully, but we're gonna try our best with what we have left. This is a shiny Jellicent. It definitely looks like it's been underwater for too long and maybe it got squeezed a little bit, and it's a little purple, a little blue. Gonna throw the Aerial Ace now into this beautiful shiny Jellicent. Mantine again, sucking, not dealing any damage, being super annoying. Opponent throws an Ice Beam, which is fascinating. I think this might be Ice Beam and Surf, if I had to guess. Gonna go ahead and throw the Aerial Ace, and I can't wait to get this bug off my screen. Gonna go ahead and swap now into the Gastrodon, dealing a lot of Mud Slap damage. Opponent goes into Poliwrath. This is something I still need to work on. My opponent actually made a swap at a certain time where I should have thrown another Mud Slap, and instead I let a full counter through. Opponent is going to throw an attack here. If it's Scald, I think I can actually hang on. Let's see what they throw. Oh, it's Pup. Yo. All right, cool. I'm going to throw 3 more Mud Slaps. I think I can survive a second Pup. I think I can. Gastrodon does. It's a beefy boy. And we take control switch advantage, which is really, really helpful. Although, ooh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I denied the Hex there. Man, denying a Hex is crazy. Oh, wait. Never mind. it was actually charge attack priority. Opponent threw, not knowing the attack stats, and I was able to go first. I take it back. I'm perfectly fine with throwing that move. Opponent's gonna get you another charge attack here. I want to absorb it on the Mantine to keep some HP on it. It's just the surf too. Opponent goes into Gastrodon, and oh my goodness. Mantine, I'm never gonna play you again after this video is done, but I wanna say, you did all right. You did all right in this video. Gonna come in now with the Annihilate. I'm gonna call it, you guys, because I wanna save my final shield for the Mantine. If I can build to double aerial aces, I win it anyway. Turns out it's a double resisted body slam, so I'm like not even worried. Now at this point, I just shield and I built a double Rage Fist, and there's nothing they can do really against my Annihilate. Earth Power, shoo, called it. Opponent comes in, and a little bit of bad manners here. Mantine brings out the worst in me, I really feel. So it forces me to close combat ghost types. That's what we get. That's gonna be a game win though at the very end. I think we went 4-1 and then 3-2. So 7-3 with this team, which, yeah, it's okay. It's above average. I feel like in the Scroll Cup, that's definitely above average. It feels like win rates in the Scroll Cup are about 50-50. Shout out to Golf Professor for posting that team in the Discord. I just kind of lurked in there and found it. Shout out to the Pokédaxi server as well. Make sure to go ahead and check him out. And I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully not in the Scroll Cup. Peace.